Calm and Strong, Trisha here, with a movement ritual that's going to focus on balance today. So have a nice well-rounded practice, a little bit of movement for everything, but just with that theme of balance in mind throughout all of it. Let's go ahead and get started on our mats. We'll start standing. Take a moment to glance down and consider your feet, right? So the first contact that you have with the earth, there begins. Let's lift the toes and spread them, and just putting lots of space between your toes as much as you can, and then lowering them back down. And then from there, just begin to rock forward and back. So shifting your weight towards the toes and then back into the heels. And just feel your body respond, right? Feel just that awareness, that shifting and swaying as you counterbalance yourself. And then let's come back in as you settle into your feet. Let's roll the feet in and out. So transferring your weight towards pinky toes and then in towards the big toes. Notice how ankles move. Also that your knees come along for this movement as well a little bit, side to side. And then from there, let's settle back into the feet. We'll bend into the knees. Let's bring our hands to the knees, and then just a few times you're going to bend and re-straighten your knees. Just letting your knees do a knee thing. And just kind of heavy through the heels. This next time, just letting the knees bend, feel them kind of come forward over the toes a bit, and then just straightening them. Let's circle the knees. So if you can, in your mind's eye, think about drawing a circle with the knees, kind of driving that circle. And just observe how your weight transfers through the foot and through the ankle. Let's reverse this. So can you drive this just going the other direction? Just easing into movement here, still feeling your arrival on the yoga mat. Let's take the feet a little bit wider. We'll bring the hands to the knees and we'll cat-cow pose. So here, just arm really rounding into the back body. And then arching the back body, right? So just like cat-cow, really shrug the shoulders and just stretch open back body. Let's take our hands, both of them, over to one knee. With a little bit of a twist, do the same kind of thing. See about creating this movement in your spine. And then from there, we'll sweep around to the other side. Do the same thing with a twist. Use the hands here to kind of leverage that. And then we'll come back in, and then let's take our first forward fold here, just a nice wide forward fold. Upper body drapes, the shoulders, the head surrender. And then here too, can you kind of shift your weight forward and back from your heels into the toes? Feel the mat beneath your feet. And then from there, let's slowly rise. We'll bring this all the way back up through to standing. Let's come into mountain pose at the top of our yoga mat. And then there, just again, re-arrive into the feet, drawing up through your legs and spine. Let's bring the hands to the ribs and then press in a little bit, just kind of guide up like you're kind of lengthening, lifting your torso out of the pelvis, and then dropping back in. We'll roll the shoulders. Feel them rise high into your ears and let them glide down. Little nod of the head, yes, no. Just that reminder, our head sits atop our spine. And then just take that in a moment, front, sides, and back of your body, standing tall. Let's find us a couple of half vinyasas to get us moving, to kind of sync body and breath. On an inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And on your exhale, fold it forward. There, let's lengthen halfway, lift your shoulders. Exhale, fold your body. And a breath, let's rise. Press through the feet like you mean it. Mountain pose, we'll bring the hands together. Let's do that much again. Inhale, reach up. Exhaling, you'll fold forward. Lengthen there, halfway lift your body. And then as you exhale, fold your body. On a breath, let's rise. Sweep the arms, come up. Mountain pose, bring the hands together. A breath here, let's reach up. Find chair pose, bend the knees, root down, bring the hands with us. And then here, I want you to start to just transfer your weight a little bit from your right foot to your left foot. Staying low in chair pose. Shifting your weight to one leg. And then let's bring this back in. We'll fold forward. Let's bend the knees here and we'll squat down. So take a moment here to find your balance on the balls of the feet, drawing up tall. You could certainly use the hands at the mat Or you could explore bringing the hands up towards the thighs. All right, and then from there, let's step back. We'll find tabletop. We'll come to hands, knees. And then in our tabletop, let's shift our weight here, kind of like we did in the feet. Just transfer your weight out towards pinky fingers, swaying. Feel that you're bearing some of your own body weight into your hands. And then let's bring this back in and just cat-cow pose, little arch and round of the spine here. Right, from that, let's tuck our toes under, we'll push back, find your squat again. This time you're coming up into the legs at the back of your mat. And then have the hands out in front of you. A few times, rock the knees down and then bring them back up. So just rocking your squat, a little forward and back. Just knocking the rust off through the feet and the hips. Right, and then let's bring this back out through tabletop. Find hovering tabletop, so lifting the knees a little bit. Can you twist? Can you swivel on the balls of the feet? Twisting side to side. And if that seems reasonable, maybe you start to lift one hand as you do that move. And just a little pivot here, side to side. Let's bring it back into our squat, walk it back. And then see here, can you bring the hands off the mat, and then we'll take our squat for a walk. So can you bring this forward and then walk it back? And it's challenging, so you can totally use the hands on the mat to help you walk forward in your squat. See what's available to you. See what your movement options are. Let's bring this all the way back out, downward facing dog. Just clear that away. Lengthen through the legs and through your arms. Come back home to your breathing. And then just kind of settle in. Once you find where the hands and feet want to be, feel the contact there that you have with the mat. From our dog pose, let's rock forward to plank. Take a moment in plank pose. Drive the floor away. Let's turn the head to the right, look over your shoulder. And then turn your head left, look over your shoulder. Okay, glancing at the hands, let's touch down, we'll lower, come to the floor. We'll find baby cobra pose, lift the chest. Exhale, come down. Let's come up onto the fingertips. Can you find a light touch? And then lift again, cobra pose, little lift up. All the way back down. Hover the hands here, just a little bit. They've lifted off the mat. And then rise, lift through the chest. Strength of your back body. Notice that. It's there. Let's come down. We'll do it again. So just using the hands, cobra pose. Rise up. All the way back down, like a wave. Find a light touch. The fingertips lift you up. All the way down. No hands, hover. Lift the chest. Feel the feet press into the floor behind you. And then all the way down. Okay, let's press back. Take a child's pose. Just a moment to sink the hips back and let that space between your eyes, your brow, touch the earth. Let all that initial movement land for you in your body and in your psyche. Let's rise. We'll come all the way back up, downward facing dog. In dog pose, let's walk our hands backwards to the feet, forward folding back there. And then there, bring your hands to the tops of your feet. And if you want to bend the knees to do this, then bend the knees. But just the hands kind of come right where your leg starts to meet your foot. And with your hands, push in. Right? Hands just helping to kind of firm your footprints into the mat. And just feel that connection, feel that grounding. Let's rise. We'll bring the hands to the knees and then come all the way up. Let's come to the very front of our mat and we'll move through a sun salutation together here. From mountain pose, inhale, reach, look up. Exhale, bow to your feet. Lengthen there, halfway lift. The exhale to plank or through chaturanga, however you get to the floor. And then rise there, cobra or up dog. And the exhale back, downward facing dog or child's pose. They're interchangeable. Take what you need. From our dog pose, let's rock forward. We'll come right through to tabletop. And then there we'll just sit right into the heels. Okay, a few times. We'll rise, we'll come up, tuck the toes, and then just sit right back into the heels. And then as you come up, untuck the toes. So a few times, let this be your move. Rocking forward and back. A little bit of yoga for the feet. The toes tuck under and then they untuck. All right, next time that you rise, come on up. We'll reach the arms overhead and then just bring your hands right into heart center. Keep your body in this nice long line and then just hover back like you're gonna lean onto a wall behind you and then rise, come on up. We'll do that again. So a few times, find that flow state, rocking forward and back. Let's interlace the hands, push them forward, lean back. All right, we'll rise. Let's come forward. We'll bring the right knee through to a low lunge, and just hands are gonna frame that front foot. From there, we'll tuck the toes, lift the knee. Little twist here, let's raise the right arm, and then up top, make a fist, and then just rotate your whole arm in and out. Right, let's bring this back to the mat here. We'll drop the knee, and then we'll move through the legs. So shifting to the back leg, and then to the front leg. A few times. See what your movement options are here. Maybe use the hands to help you, or explore what this is like with not using the hands. Okay, we'll come forward. Let's tuck the back toes. We'll rise up here, high crescent lunge. Reach the arms. Long to the side body. Back heel lifts, back thigh lifts. Let's do that same move where we kind of lean forward. Can you bend into the front knee? And then lean it back. A few times, forward, back. All right, let's come back down into the mat. We'll step back here, downward facing dog. Inhale, look at the hands. Exhale, rock forward, and then we'll touch down into the knees. Let's bring the left foot forward, so we're in a low lunge on this other side. And then there, little lunge with a twist. Raise the arm, look up. Go ahead, make a fist, and then rotate, arm in, out. We'll bring this back here to the mat, touch the knee down, and then here you get to move. You get to move through the legs. No wrong way to do it, just find what's available to you. Right, let's come forward. We'll tuck the back toes, start to rise, press the floor away, come up. The reach begins in your feet, travels all the way up and out through ring fingers. And then from there, same thing, find some movement. We'll rock it forward, lean back. A little awareness to the back body here as we move towards it. Shifting your weight front to back. Let's bring it back down, downward facing dog, we'll step back. Smooth things out here, regulate. Let's glance at the hands, a little bend in the knees, walk or hop it in front of the mat. Let's rise, we'll come all the way up through to standing. And then let's face out here towards the long side of our yoga mat here. And then from here, just kind of hands at the hips. Let's start to move side to side. So just start to get familiar with moving this way, right? We can bend into the right knee, into the left. And then we're gonna go in those directions. So let's push off and come to the right side, right? A few times, rebound, push the floor away, and just find that sweet spot of balance on one leg. And then as you find it, we'll come on up. And then here, we'll just open and close this hip a few times. No extra cranking or pushing. Let everything be still, except the leg that's moving. From there, we'll find our tree pose. Let the foot land. And as you get steady, let's take the arms behind the head. Elbows wide. Can you glance up? Can you lift your chin a little bit? And then let's land. We'll come right back in through the legs. From here, we're just going to switch. Have this sense of curiosity for your movement. Find your way into standing and balancing on one leg. Let's bring hands to center, kind of to heart and to belly. So just this feedback, right? Keeping everything nice and still, except that leg that's moving. Let's land it. Find your way to tree. Anywhere on that standing leg will do, just fine. Let's bring the hands behind the head. And then can you lift your gaze? Can you look up slightly? Can you sense just that subtle openness across the chest? And And then let's release that. We'll get out of it. We'll land ourselves back into the legs. Let's take the arms really nice and wide, and then just a nice fold forward. Let the exhale be complete. Let the exhale be just as big as your inhale, just as important as your inhale. And from there, let's rise. We'll come on up. Right. From here, let's find our way into Warrior Two on the right side. So nice bend in the front knee. Reach out. Take a moment to be here. And then we'll reach back, Reverse Warrior. Ride the breath forward. Let's find side angle pose. We'll sweep the arm overhead. Pushing back up. Let's find our way through Warrior. And then we'll just pivot on the feet. Find your way here, Warrior Two pose. Reach it back, Reverse Warrior. Let's rise, send it forward. Long line from your hand down your side to your back foot. And just feel your whole body in this shape. Let's come on back up and then right back through our center. We'll fold it forward. As you fold forward, let's bend into the right knee, into the left knee. So just again, moving side to side. And then here, as you shift over to your right, let's find a low lunge. We'll drop down into the back knee and then rise up. And just hands to the low back, just some awareness, some remembrance of the back body, and then start to lift the front foot. And as you do that, you might start to use the arms for that balance support. Explore your ability here to lift the front leg off the mat in low lunge. It's a little different. All right, let's root back in. We'll find our high crescent lunge. Rise up, reach the arms. Let's lie forward here. Warrior Three pose. Lift the back leg. Glance down. See the foot you're standing on. See that it's moving, keeping you upright. And then from there, a few times, can you bend and re-straighten through the leg you're standing on? Let's land it here. Warrior Two pose. Warrior Two, just a little reach back to reverse. Clear that away. And then all the way back here through the mat. Let's spin it around here. Take it to the other side. Low lunge. All right, we'll drop down into the knee, and then let's rise. So rather than sinking forward, the emphasis here is we're just kind of stacked right over our hip and knee. Bring your hands to the low back, and then can you draw down through your tail? A little bit of engaging through your glutes. Catch a stretch on the front side. From there, we have that stability then to start to lift the front foot. Finding some balance, playing with that. There will be movement. All right, let's come back in. Tuck the toes. We'll rise up. High crescent lunge. Reach, reach, reach. And then send it forward here. Warrior Three pose. Lots of energy through the back foot. Reaching through the crown of your head. A few times here. Can you bend and re-straighten the leg you're standing on? And if you lose it, just put it back together. All right, let's land. We'll land into the legs. Take a moment on both feet. Reach back, reverse it. And then we'll windmill the hands to the mat. Let's walk this around through our center, through that fold. And then rise. We'll bring this all the way to standing. Okay, mountain pose. Let's come back into the front of our yoga mat. Clear, clarify. Be there. A breath. Let's reach the arms up. Exhale, bow. Fold it forward. Lengthen there, halfway lift. The exhale, downward facing dog. Let's step back, dog pose. In dog pose, let's lift our right leg high. We'll step forward. High crescent lunge. Come on up. Reach up. And then there, it's going to bring the hands into the heart. Think about your back body. Think about going behind you. We're going to push off. Remember this little move, right? Find that sweet spot of balance on that one leg. And then as you get back there, find a figure four. Just ankle to knee. Have a seat. A few breaths here. This option to interlace the hands and kind of send them out in front. Peek down through your arms. Let's rise, send it up. We'll fall forward right back into our high crescent lunge. Reach the arms. Let's take a prayer twist over that right side. Lay the body forward. Make a little room. Let's bring it back to the mat here. We'll step back, downward facing dog. In dog pose, let's lift the left leg high. And then we'll bring it forward. High crescent lunge. Come on up. Let's bring hands down into heart. And then from here, we're heading back, right? So front leg, little bend and re-straight. Push off. Find your way to the back onto that leg. And when you get there, a figure 4. Ankle to knee, have a seat, find chair pose. And then just a few breaths here. Maybe you interlace the hands, send them out, reach. Rise, press the floor away. We're gonna land back into our legs, high crescent lunge. Exhale, prayer twist, coming forward. Back heel lifts. Take a breath, sides, back of the waist. And then we'll bring it here to the mat. Downward facing dog, let's step back. Glancing at the hands, little bend. Walk or hop it in front of the mat. And we'll rise. We'll come all the way back up into mountain pose. And then here we'll kind of find our peak play, right? Our peak move of the practice of balance leading us to this here. So in the top of your mat, let's reach the arms. Find chair pose, get low. Okay, remember this little shift from right leg to left leg. Come back to being in that. And then this option to start to peel open into half moon pose. Right back through chair to half moon. So let this move. Spend a little time with it, kind of sort it out. Embrace the wobbles, the shifting. From open hip, right back through squared hips and chair. Let's bring this back in through to both feet. Get low, squat down, all the way down. We're coming through to our seat. Boat pose and just circle. Circle through the hands and the feet here. We'll plant the feet. Bring the hands behind you. Reverse tabletop, gaze up, lift the chest. Here's maybe where you lift the hips. Opening across the front body. And then all the way back down. Let's draw the knees in, little rock roll, little momentum. Enjoy the ride. Let this bring you up a few times. Pressing into the feet, see if you can rise. Really use the edges of your feet. Hovering. Try this with the other foot in front. And we'll land it. We'll land it into our seat, just comfortable cross-legged seat. Let's bring the hands to the knees and fold. And then there, just a little shift and sway. Let the hands kind of push you right, left. We'll come up. Let's switch the feet. Other shin in front. Ample time for both sides. Fold it back in. Little shift. Notice how that changes stretch when you move from your right to your left. And we'll rise. We'll bring this back up. All right, from here, a little something for the shoulders. So as you settle back into your seat, let's just bring the right hand to the back of the head. And then from there, just take a side bend out to your left till you point that elbow high to the ceiling. And then all the way back up. Let's reach. So hand behind the head, and then just reaching back. Reaching all the way till the elbow points up. And then we'll rise. All right, let's bring this all the way down into our mats now. We'll draw the knees in. Give yourself a good squeeze. Arms, legs into the air. Circle. Ankles, hands. We'll plant the feet onto the mat. Let's take the arms overhead behind us. And then there, draw your tailbone under, rise. Rise up, bridge pose. Send the hips. Let the breath expand there towards belly. exhale, let's lower. Lower the body, lower the arms. And then let's take the feet to the wide edges of your mat, and then just let the knees fall. Right side, left side. Moving just mindfully, skillfully, unrushed. Emphasizing the knee getting to fall towards the middle of your mat. And then coming back in, bridge pose one more time, bring the feet in, we'll rise. Take the arms overhead behind you. And let's lower the body, lower the arms. We'll bring the knees in, let's lift the head, the shoulders. Happy baby pose, catching either the feet or behind the creases of your knees here, and just a little shift and sway. Feel the imprint of your spine on the floor. And we'll bring this back in. All right, from here, a little twist. We'll take the knees to the right. Sweeping open, look over your left shoulder. And then with that left arm, sweep it over your head like you're drawing a circle. Bring that arm all the way over here to the right, and then just trace it back open. Another time, just trace a big circle around the head all the way out, and then all the way back. Let's pause, just a couple breaths. And we'll untwist. Let's bring this back in. And then there, we'll twist it to the left, right? Bringing the legs just all the way over here. Peeling open across the chest, reaching, looking over right shoulder. And then just take that arm over your head. Keep going all the way until you meet your left, and then take it back overhead all the way out. And just noticing the movement of your shoulder. Upper body peeling open. Just a second time here. Let's stay. A couple breaths. And we'll bring it back in. Give yourself a good squeeze, a well-deserved hug. We'll land the feet. Recline butterfly. Bring the soles of the feet together, the knees land open. Let's push down into the feet. Lift the hips like you're doing bridge pose. Feel the body rise up, floating off the mat. And then release that. Let that go. All the effort. We'll seal our practice here, a breath. Take your biggest inhale possible. Pause at the top of that breath. And then just slow, complete exhale all the way to the bottom of your lungs. We'll send the legs down the mat. We'll come into Shavasana. So final rest, just a few moments of deep stillness to luxuriate in that present body awareness. Ensure you've released as much efforting and doing as you can. And then just notice what feels good and comfortable, good and connected in your body. We'll take the arms overhead, find a full body stretch, expanding into just every cell of your body, that sense of completeness settled in. We'll slowly roll to the side, and then let's rise. We'll bring this all the way back up into our seats. Right. Let's bring the hands together. Stay as close to that feeling of presence as you can the rest of your day. Have the best day ever. Peace.